Hey guys, if you're enjoying the content that I'm making, please click that subscribe button. Also remember to click that bell button and make sure to tick that box to send all notifications so you don't miss out on any videos. With that in mind, let's get on with the video. What's up guys, welcome to Munchkins Gaming, where we take your gaming to the next level. This is Munchkins logging in to bring you another Final Fantasy XIV video, and in this video we're going to be talking about the preliminary patch note that has arrived in patch 4.2. There's a lot of obviously hype for 4.2, and we're going to go through the patch notes relatively quick, as I don't want this to be over like another hour video. So let's get on. First, of course, the playable quests or the playable content. There's the new main quest. I'm just gonna skip through this because there's already been a lot of videos already out there. It's like 9 a.m. here. I actually woke up at 5 a.m. and when I found out there was the new patch notes. So yeah, I'm just gonna go over that. So Omega. So new side stories we've got as well. Of course, the Fractal Continuum, the Fashion Report, that's all been mentioned. Ananta Beast Tribe. Keep going down. And let's see what we have here. So Guild Leaves. Gear for Disciple of the Hand has been added as a reward for each Guardian Tradecraft sleeves. It's alright. Treasure hunt, obviously they're gonna try to adjust the Aquapolis as well. So there's the new item level sync. So before it was 310 and now it's 370, and Hidden Canals of Uznir is 340 and that's 370. Grand and free companies, basically there's the squadron. You get the Daysmail Darkhold, Fair Sirius, which is actually quite surprising. It's one of my favorite dungeons because it's one of the hardest, and if you guys see my top 5 A Realm Reborn dungeons, Fair Sirius is one of them. We've got Copper Bell Mines as well. Obviously there's new craftable items, subaquatic voyages, which has been mentioned before. Housing, I did mention a little bit of the housing before in last week's adventures chat log, so we're not going to go through that. It's basically the same thing, so I did have a little bit of a read through about it, and yeah, it's pretty much the same. So next one is, this is actually a pretty surprising one. That players can now teleport directly to a friend's free company estate or private estate or apartment building. All you have to do is target the player and right click them, I suppose, and teleport. Now it'll ask you, if you want to teleport to their private room or whatever. So let's see, going down further, it's just a lot more of the housing stuff, and you get a lot more new ones like the permits and the nodes, and new furnitures as well, new aquarium fishes. That's pretty good. Look like a snapper or something. New paintings have been added. It's pretty nice, and new seeds for flower pots. And of course the fashion report, basically it's like a weekly repeatable quest, and you do get rewarded for it. You get like MGP if you're into that. New prizes for NGP, following adjustments have been made in 2 gates, so there's a little bit of changes there, which I'm not gonna go through because I don't really know anyone who actually goes to the Gold Saucer to play anymore. Triple Triads as well, new cards. Yeah, not sure. Now this is a little bit interesting. The performance UI, you can basically lock into your keyboard now, which is like you're actually playing a piano in some sort. So that's pretty cool. You can also do this obviously with your game controller as well, but I think you'll probably have a easier time with the keyboard if you actually do play piano. Anyway, certificates of commendations have been added as a reward for completing Wondrous Tales. The Royal City of Rabanastra will now count toward the completion of objectives in Wondrous Tales. There's new emotes, which is like, hey, what's up? It's like a short wave instead of the long ass wave that we have. I think this is just like, hey, new station hairstyles, which is nice, and they actually do kind of look like we've had them before. I'm sorry, but it's I think it's just from the villain, which I forgot the name, the girl that's gone crazy, that we're going to be concentrating on her on this patch. So that's her hairstyle by the looks of it. But then the nitty gritty stuff that we've all obviously, basically why you clicked on this video, is the battle system. So changes to the Gladiator and Paladin is up first. They have reduced the potency for both Shield Swipe and Holy Spirit. Shield Swipe, basically potency has been reduced from 150 to 100. I think is a very significant drop. Mind you don't actually get to use Shield Swipe a lot because it only activates when you do block, and it has a fairly long cooldown. So this is a pretty significant potency drop. Holy Spirit has been reduced from 400 to 380. I actually don't know why they needed to drop it any further. Honestly, I thought the tanks between the Paladin and the Warrior, they're okay. Only the Dark Knight was the only one that needed to have something done. But obviously it's Square Enix, and the Warrior is a headache. They've already perfected the Warrior so many times, and every single time major patch they always manage to ruin the Warrior, obviously except for Heavensward. Well, the initial start of Heavensward, I think the Warrior had a bit of a problem there too, but I can't remember that far back. But so like they said, or like I said during the forum translation, or the live letter translation, the official forums basically just said they're gonna decrease something and they're gonna increase everything else. So Heavy Swing is the first one. It's a 10 potency increase. Skull Sunder also gets a 10 potency increase. Berserk gets a change, a massive change. The effect, increased attack power by 30%, has been changed to guarantees that all attacks are critical and direct hits, which is pretty huge. The duration has been changed to from 20 seconds to 10 seconds, and the recast timer has been increased to 60 seconds from 60 seconds to 90 seconds. Pretty significant change in Berserk. Personal opinion, I think the critical and direct hits are pretty huge. Obviously that is especially if you're using Fell Cleaves. 10 seconds you can probably get away with maybe 4 Fell Cleaves if done right. I think maybe. I think they also changed the inner release thing. So yeah, sorry, I read this at 6 a.m. and then I was like, oh, I can't. But anyway, that's a significant change. We'll go through and we'll see. So Overpower increased to 10 potency. Not like, I don't even know why they need to increase Overpower more. I mean, all the other ones are, I mean, the Paladin AoE is like pretty crap. Tomahawk gets an increase in potency as well. Maim gets a 10 potency increase, and Butcher Block gets a 20 potency increase. which is pretty good. It's at 300 combo potency now. Makes you want to use that a little bit more. Storm's Path combo potency has been increased from 270 to 280, so that's another 10. Vengeance basically gets their potency damage increased to 55, so that's a 5 potency increase. Storm's Eye, the effect increasing damage dealt has been changed from 20% to 10%. Combo potency increased from 270 to 280. So that's actually pretty significant. So from 20% to 10%, 10% difference. So yeah, I don't know what to say about that. That's gotta hurt, Warriors. That's gotta hurt. I mean, you do get 10 potency increase to everything, but yeah, I don't know. 10%. That hurts. Next one is Unchanged. No longer shares a recast timer with inner release. And they've reduced the recast time from 120 to 90 seconds. So that's a pretty significant drop. I actually like that, and especially if you're in Defiance, you can use it a lot more than you know, when you're basically, I guess that's the only time you actually use Unchanged, really. Steel Cyclone HP absorption has been reduced. Oh my gosh, I don't know why they did that. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. I think it was 100%. If they're like HP, damage, basically lifesteal 100%. Whatever your damage was is what you were gonna get with Steel Cyclone. At least when I was using it, that's how I noticed that my damage is exactly the same HP absorption. So if they're reducing that, ooh, that's gonna be harder for longer pulls. Inner release has also been changed. No longer shares a recast timer with Unchained, which mentioned earlier. Recast time has been reduced to 90 seconds. Effect duration has been reduced from 20 to 10 seconds. The effect halves beast gauge cost and nullifies stun, sleep, bind, heavy, and most knockback and drawing effects. Has been changed to allow the use of beast gauge actions without cost and nullifies stun, sleep, bind, heavy, and most knockback and draw in effects. The additional effect guarantees that all attacks are critical and direct hit has also been added and can now be even used in Defiance mode. No longer changes to Unchained. No longer changes to Unchained when under the effect of Defiance. So that is pretty significant, especially if you're in tank stance. And this guarantees all attack and crits are direct hits as well. So, I mean, you can mess around with Berserk and Inner Release. I mean, if you pop them both at the same time, you're not getting all the guarantees, extra guarantees. This is like, what, another 10 seconds? So, like, if you pop them at separate times, I suppose you always get the crit and the direct hits. Yeah, I think people will probably be like, go beast gauge to 100 and then pop Berserk, get like 2 of the fell cleaves or whatever, then pop Inner Release so they can keep going and using that and making sure that, I don't know, because both of them have the guarantee that all attacks are critical and direct hit. So I know the idea is probably to spread them apart, and so yeah, unfortunately Berserk will be like to the point where the last maybe 5 seconds will be like nothing. I suppose. Yeah, I mean, some people will figure it out. I don't know how I feel about all these changes. FFXIV had the potency increased to 520. Yeah, it's gonna be big, but man, some of these hurt, and some of them, I don't know if it justifies all the 10 potency increase. I suppose with the loss of 10%, I mean, man, I don't like. I don't main warrior, and I've been playing it obviously just on 4-man dungeons, so I can clear very quickly because of overpower. But this is a, yeah, warrior had a significant change altogether, and I don't know how I feel about it. I've just really learned how to play warrior again, and now you have to relearn how to play it. So yeah. Anyway, let's move on. I did say I'm trying to get under an hour here. Next is the Dark Knight. Basically, the Delirium recast time has been reduced from 120 to 80 seconds. And the Blackest Night, the effect duration has been increased from 5 to 7 seconds. Not a big, huge change. They did say they just want to use the usability. Next is my favorite, of course. This is why you guys are probably here, is the monk adjustments. I'm so happy. I'll make a separate video going into more detail about, or if this is like enough to get the monk back up. So mantra recast time reduced to 90 seconds. Great. Perfect balance. This is the best thing that's ever happened. Recast time has been reduced from 180 to 60 seconds, guys. 60 seconds. That makes it more like your tornado kick will have more of a significant change with this perfect balance. Man, I can't wait. Can't wait. Wind tackle. Basically the duration of the riddle of wind effect, which is the second tackle, has been increased from 5 to 10 seconds. So riddle of wind is the actual tackle that will grant you a grease lightning effect with a duration of 16 seconds. So yeah, you do have to hit the second time before you actually get the grease lightning. But all said and done, that's a lot more stance dancing than what monks are used to, but it makes monk more complicated and more fun, and more challenging. And I think, yeah, I like the change. Brotherhood, the effect now also applies to the user, which is basically I hope the damage increase and the ability to get chakra on your weapon skills. Next is the Machinist, is the Rook Auto Turret. Hypercharge effect increasing the target's damage taken has been reduced from 6% to 5%. That's alright. Bishop Auto Turret. Hypercharge effect increasing target's damage taken has been reduced from 6% to 5%. I feel like the Machinist doesn't really get a lot. Next is the Thaumaturge. Man, it's so hard to say that word. Black Mage. Transpose. I think we've said this in the last Adventures chat log, actually, from the official translations in the forums. 12 to 8 seconds. Thunder basically has increased duration from 12 to 18 seconds, where you can use the thunder effect. Fire is the same thing. Basically, the fire duration for fire starter effect has been increased from 12 to 18 seconds. Ethereal manipulation recast time has been reduced to 10 seconds, which is great, so you can keep on teleporting to other people. Fire 4 potency has been increased to 280, which is a 20 potency increase. Very nice. Summoner Tribind potency, while under the effect of Dreadwyrm's Trance, has been reduced from 100 to 70. Now this is quite surprising. Tribind was, I think, a butt of old jokes before, and they increased it to 100, and we're like, oh, you know, Summoner's AoE is pretty decent now. Well, it's always been decent, like, but with Tribind, you know, and Dreadworm Trance, that was pretty good. Pain Flare has potency reduced from 200 to 180. Ruin 3 potency has reduced to 120. Worm Wave potency reduced to 150. So nerfs all around for Summoner. Yeah, that's pretty surprising. Yeah, definitely surprising, because I think Summoner was in the right position. Anyway, moving on. White Mage, Divine Benison, Healing Lily requirement has been removed. Whoa, what's the point in lilies? Anyway, moving on. Scholar, the Egg-Skog, basically, the effect grants target party member other than self the effect of Egg-Skog, restoring HP when member's HP falls below 50% has been changed to grant target party member other than the self the effect of Egg-Skog, restoring HP when member's HP falls below 50% or upon effect duration expiration, which is really nice. I've been using Egg-Skog. If you guys don't know, I've been trying to level my Scholar every day. I try and do just the daily roulettes, and you know, and I found Egg-Skog to be really annoying at times, and sometimes, yeah, my paladin even started using Clemency in the middle of my Egg-Skog. I'm like, let me use it, damn it. Anyway, Astro, the spear, the effect duration increased from 20 to 30 seconds, sorry. That is pretty good. Earthly Star, the size of the cursor when targeting the ground will now be indicative of the area of effect, which is nice. Interject, basically the silence effect will now, this is roll actions now, by the way. Basically this will now be applied more quickly, the silence effect. For the melee roll action diversion, we do get an increased time duration for diversion, which is now 30 seconds. Physical range DPS roll action with head graze, the silence will now apply to targets more quickly. And the new trait for the warrior, the Berserk Mastery, upgrades Berserk to inner release. Oh, so Berserk will be changed to inner release. That makes more sense in a way, because of what that was. I thought they were still two separate skills. Wow. Am I reading that right? I was really drowsy when I was just scrolling down. Upgrades Berserk to inner release. It is. Ouch. They're gonna be one skill. They're not gonna be separate skills like they have been. So that's why they had almost the same effect, but inner release has the halves beast gauge. The no beast gauge cost. Oh, this is huge. That 30% attack power. Oh my god. Man, I hope I am actually reading this right, because that hurts. That definitely hurts. Anyway, moving on. I gotta keep going. Elemental resistance has been removed. We all know that. New dungeons has been added, and we all knew that. The fractal continuum and the health loot. That's it. And we get the Jade Stoa, of course, and the extreme version of that, and of course our Savage, the Sigma Scape, which is pretty exciting. They're all just gonna be the same. The Elegant Tombstone changes as well. And yeah, basically you can do duty finder now for these ones, and restriction has been removed from the royal city of Rabanastre. And this is a little bit surprising, and the weekly restriction of obtaining Dreadworm totems has been removed. Well, I suppose the item that you get there is insignificant now. Gear will now be synced to item level 345, which I believe currently is 340. So this adjustment was implemented to preserve the difficulty of the encounter, as well as the rarity of the achievement rewarded for its completion. Even though they say that the 340 level sync 345, sorry, is a 4 item level higher. No, 5 item level higher than what it is currently, so maybe a little bit easier for everyone else to finish that. Judy roulette says obviously there's going to be changes to that. Yeah, just keep on changes. Tombstones, PvP. I'm not really into the PvP, guys, so there's changes there for basically every single one when I looked at it. So, you know, I'm not gonna go through that. I'm not a PvP person. So if you guys want to go that, I'll leave the link for the preliminary patch notes in the comments below, and you can go, guys, have a look at what the PvP changes are. Rival wings, the feasts. I'm going through this rather quickly. Oh, what? Hang on. There's a adjustment to medals. Okay. Offensive supplies. Blah blah blah. PvP still. So items. New items has been added, and new recipes have been added. This looks like it was here before. It reminds me of a certain set before, but yeah, this looks okay. The first one, I'm guessing that's our tombstone. Yeah, I'm guessing that's our tombstone. The monk. Oh man, I'm gonna show my chicken wings with that. Oh man, sleeveless one. I don't know how I feel about that, but okay. Glamour prisms and stuck to 999. Pretty exciting stuff. Now this is another change. The item level they're gonna start showing on the meals. So your food buff, you'll see what the item level for that is now, so you know which one's the better one. I suppose this one is yummier because the item level is 100. Yes. New items can now be purchasing chase for achievement certificates, blah blah blah. New mounts, love that. The horse is a bit of a, yeah, sure, it's nice, I suppose. Chocobo and new minions and systems. We get the glamour dressers, which pretty much, yeah, it's the new glamour system. So basically the easiest way to explain this is you go to the inn, because that's where you can get it. You access the glamour dresser, you select the gear you wish to transform, and then you need a glamour prism, and then you use that, and then you basically use it, you know, pick one of the items that you want to look at, and then you can save it. Like basically you save, like you can save up to 10, I believe, which they are now calling glamour plates. So you may edit up to 10 glamour plates. Yeah, it's not huge, 10 sets, but it's definitely gonna alleviate the inventory problem. Sorry, excuse me. And we get the duty recorder, which I think will be it's only implemented in Jade Stoa fight, but I feel like this is gonna be one of those things where people will point fingers or something. Oh man, oh that wasn't me. But yeah, you basically will be able to change your point of view when you're, from one person to the next. So I mean, when you check it out anyway. Yeah, so character select, so you can check who you want, which point of view you want to look at. But yeah, I think, it's only going to be in the Jade Stoa and Jade Stoa Extreme, so it's not all that bad. So I don't know. We'll see. I actually want to use this because I want to do different perspectives, obviously, on my videos, and it'll be pretty fun to edit and stuff. But yeah, so there you go, recordable. The Chocobo saddlebag, which is a nice extra 140. Is it? No, 70. Sorry, that's it. 70 items. Pretty interesting stuff. And the following additions and adjustment has been made to retainers. The maximum number of retainers has been increased to 9. Hiring 3 or more retainers requires subscription service, obviously, in the Mog Station. When using a summoning bell to call a retainer, the city-state icon will be displayed in the retainer list, even if that retainer is not selling any items on the market. NPC shops can now be filtered to show only items released after an update by selecting show only recently added items. The following adjustments have been made to the action and traits interface in the character's menu. Opening the action and traits interface will take you to the last viewed tab, even after logging out or changing job or class. The order of actions under the general tab has been changed. So when using the try on subcommand on equipment other than weapons, players can now toggle sheet draw weapons in the fitting room window with display gear selected. The order of minions in the minion guide has been adjusted. Players can now accept teleport offers from party members when riding a 2-person mount or when incapacitated. Now that's pretty huge. I like that. When using a gamepad or controller, it is now easier to select Aetherites. Not my thing. The scenario guide will now display any available class or job quest for your current class or job. Now that's all right. I don't mind that. The display of the cross target marker has been adjusted. The world name is now displayed in the chat log when receiving a message from a player from another world during duty. Some of the macro stuff, surprise, shut ice emotes has been changed. I don't even know. Now they're changing a little bit of the mouse wheel settings, so you can change your scroll up and down, and of course you can use the control up and scroll up and down. Yeah. Event camera settings, look at target when speaking. Yeah. An option has been added to toggle the playing of battle music when targeted by enemy in the field. This does not affect fates, hunts, or duties. So I suppose if you're sick of that song. So actually, I'm getting sick of that BGM whenever I'm trying to run, and then some monster just want to tag me. I'm like, please, I don't want. I just want to keep listening to my song, but it does make you aware that you've been targeted, but if you're not paying all too much attention. The following option has been removed from the character configuration interface, pet display settings and stuff. Keybind menu for shortcuts for Chocobo saddlebags, duty recorder, record ready check, PvP team, and just the chat tab. And you can use the commands as well. And I think that's pretty much it for the preliminary patch notes. New phrases has been added in the auto translation dictionary. New music has been added. And if the player is logged onto a client, logging into a second client with the same service account will automatically log that player out of the first client. That player may continue to play on the second client, which I don't know. yeah, and that's it, guys. That is for the preliminary patch for 4.2. Please, you know, watch out for my monk video in regards to the buffs, now that it is plain and clear to see what are the buffs that we are getting as a monk. Even though I haven't played monk in a very long time, I still feel like, you know, I have to get these news out, and I do still want to keep playing monk when, you know, I get the chance, because of raids requirements. They required me to use a certain class or job. Yeah. I can't always be playing monk, so yeah. Anyway, guys, I hope that's doesn't reach the 30-minute mark at least. I hope it's just under 30 minutes, this video, but yeah, we'll see when I edit it. Anyway, guys, that's it for this video. Remember to click like, subscribe, and share this video if you find it helpful at all. As always, I'd like to hear from you guys what you think of the overall preliminary patch for 4.2. This is Martians logging off, and I'll see you guys in the next level.